Welcome back. Today we sit down with Robert Kushner, the founder of BuffBoxx.com. You're going to learn how his dog inspired his business, how he grew from 90 customers to over 1,500 in 1 year, his strategy on how to figure out how to make social media actually work, and finally, the top 2 keys for a successful startup.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. Robert Kushner has been an athlete his entire life. He is the founder of BuffBoxx.com, a subscription-based model business that provides customers with a package once a month with their favorite athletic gear and accessories. You'll learn in the interview how he took this idea and launched a business 5 months later. Robert, thank you so much for joining us today. I know the audience is going to get so much out of today's episode. Bring us back to when you decided to set up BuffBoxx. What brought you to that decision?
Sure, Thor, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be on with you. BuffBoxx came to me while subscribing to another subscription box called BarkBox for my dog. And he was getting all these awesome treats and toys and everything that he loves each month. And I got his very first box and I opened it up and I wanted one. I wanted something the same, but I wanted it to meet my hobbies, my interests. So I did a quick internet search, got on Google, got on Yellow Pages, and couldn't find anything that I would go buy that had the brand names and quality products. So a day, 2 days after I had already had the LLC created, and the rest was history. We were on the way.
Now, and why BuffBoxx versus, Soapbox?
Well, fitness has always been a part of my life, sports and fitness for that matter. My entire family has always been involved. So my grandfather and his father were all athletes. My dad played football. Both of his brothers were athletes. My grandfather ended up becoming a doctor, and I grew up around him. So a lot of his health tactics and ideas were transferred into me and how I live my life. And it's just always been something that I'm interested in. It's a passion of mine. And I was actually lucky enough to be able to come up with this and be able to have a way to go after something I'm passionate about and be able to wake up every day and enjoy what I'm doing.
That is so important. I find so many entrepreneurs go into businesses because, that's where the money is, but it's just not really part of their identity. It's not really what they're passionate about. So congrats on that. Now, I know you're a young man. How old were you when you started this?
I was 30. I had just turned 31. I guess I was 29 going into my 30th year, but just hit that 30 mark when we launched, and I've got a year under my belt now. So it was a good long year. I think I have a gray hair or two now, but it was still exciting.
Well, welcome to entrepreneurship. There's more on their way.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it doesn't always go according to plan. Now, I know your nickname is Bubba. When I was on social media, I was looking for you. I was like, I can't find Robert. But I found Bubba, and I didn't know if that was the 140-pound Rottweiler or if that was you. But that was you.
Yeah, that was me. I mean, it could go either way. Bubba would be a great name for the Rottweiler, whose name's actually Isaac LeBron. But my dad was born and raised in the South. Go figure. And my real name is Robert Kushner IV, but he has called me Bubba since I was born. And that name caught on through sports with all of my friends and classmates, and it became the name that I'm known by.
That's awesome. I was going through your bio also, and I was like, man, I really respect this guy. And then I came to one thing that I got to tell you I really had a problem with. It said you used to own a Harley Davidson. Please tell me you did not buy one of those rice burners now. You've just given up on the sport completely.
Yeah, no, I would never go with the rice burner. I'm more of a laid-back, cruising down the street type of guy on the Harley. Those rice burners have a little too much get-up for me, but my wife was not too pumped up about the motorcycle, and she was pretty adamant that I get rid of it. So a couple years after, hearing about it every week, I went ahead and threw it to the fire, but I hope to get another one day.
All right. Now, did you know this before you married her?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be true love. If you're willing to give up your Harley for a woman, that's true love.
That's what I told her.
Well, it's fun. I ride and also do motocross as well, and people look at me. I'm 53, and they're like, motocross at 53? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I want to, if I get to the point where I've got to go for the little walker to the motocross bike, I mean, all the better. I'm going to keep riding.
Once they get you on the bike, all you got to do is use your hand to squeeze and your toes to move the gears, right?
Exactly. Just keep going.
Okay.
Well, that's fabulous. So tell me some of the lessons that you learned along the way. There's a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this show or want to be entrepreneurs that are in the same situation. They're like, look, I want to get my first company started. I want to do it online. I have a great idea. And of course, we all know that there's tons of great ideas. It's the execution that counts. So what advice would you give those people listening that want to start one of their first gigs?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is have that idea, and I think you need to be passionate about it. People have ideas every day that, oh, this could be a good idea, that could be cool. But if it's not something that you're passionate about, it's not something that you're willing to work for, then it just really isn't worth your time. And some of the things that have helped me is knowing that it's something that I'm ready to work for, and being able to show people that have told me, this isn't going to work, you can't do it, the market is filled with this kind of thing. All of that is just fuel to the fire, and you've got to be ready to work for it. You've got to be ready to put everything into it. I left my job that I was making, $100,000 a year doing to not make any money a year. We're still not taking a salary. So it's definitely something you have to be passionate about.
Yeah, I always tell people, I said, if you want to become an entrepreneur, go through the first step first. And that is, are you willing to work twice the number of hours for half the pay? Exactly. If you're lucky.
Yeah, you might get half the pay.
Right. And sometimes zero pay is good if you're not losing money.
Right.
You could actually lose money along the way as well. Well, that is awesome. So what are some of the lessons that you learned that you really didn't think that, you didn't foresee coming up?
Yeah, so I'd never started a company before. Other than applying for a LLC, I wasn't 100% sure where to go. Something a lot of people don't know about me is I didn't finish college. So I'm one of the people who thinks college is great. I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think that having a degree makes you better than someone or more qualified or smarter. But there's things that you will pick up and you will learn in college that are going to help you and that are going to save you time. So for me, I didn't have some of that stuff. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of researching. Google has been a great business advisor to us. And, the biggest lessons I think that I've learned, I don't even know if I would call it a lesson. It's more just skills that I've learned. And it's amazing how much different things come up when starting a business, from logistics to marketing to operations. And it's been really awesome to be able to learn all these new things and put it into the company and watch the company be successful from the tactics that we're employing.
Give us a little behind the scenes view of the company. Are you going out and buying these products at bulk from the manufacturers? And then how do you determine which ones you're going to use? Bring us behind the scenes.
Sure. We actually try every single product that we put in the box. Some of it is supplements, some of them are snacks, accessories, etc. So from Bluetooth headphones to proteins to drinks and protein bars. We try it all. And the biggest caveat is that it has to be brand name and premium quality. We don't want to put anything in the box that you won't enjoy, something that you wouldn't go buy for yourself, or something that's potentially harmful to you. So we go through, we find the products we like, we test them out, and then we curate spots for them in our monthly boxes. And we do, well, right now we have 24 months of boxes pre-planned out. So it's another thing about our business that separates us, is that a lot of companies are around for 6 months, a year, and they've kind of hit all the good products and they've run out of things to send. But we're set for 2 years at a minimum right now, and we're pretty excited about the quality of the products we have to offer our customers.
And do you have to pre-buy those products and warehouse those, or are you doing those kind of just in time?
As we grow, we definitely like to buy more in bulk and warehouse them, just because obviously we'll get some breaks on cost and our margins will increase. But currently, we buy them just for the month as the month comes.
And are you finding any of the manufacturers wanting to work with you and kind of give you some of the newer ones, cut you a really great deal, just so it's helping their marketing as well?
Sure. New companies and established companies alike are contacting us. We just got done speaking with Quest Nutrition about their new protein cereal bar, and they want to do a big launch with us for January and February. But yeah, we do everything from giveaways and shout outs, and include promo cards with a discount for our customers to either go back to their or our e-commerce stores and purchase some of their full-size products.
One question that always comes up from my clients is, I need more clients. I need more prospects. I need to go find, more leads.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you came right out of a box and you really made a big splash. How did you get such momentum going from the very beginning?
Well, honestly, from the beginning, it was a little bit slow. We had our pre-launch marketing trying to get people to join our list, and then we would notify them when we launched. And we had about 1,000 people on that list, and only maybe 90 or 100 converted on that first month. And then through the next 3 or 4 months, we were kind of figuring out where to market, who to market to, what dollars to put where. And that kind of kept on going through the end of December. And then we really started figuring out our social media marketing. And come the end of January, we were really starting to hit it bigger. And we ended up doing over 1,500 subscribers in our first year. And that's bootstrapping.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so we were pretty excited and proud of that.
So tell us some of your tricks that you implemented.
Well, I think you really have to find what's best for you and your company. If you go out and talk to some small businesses, the first thing they're going to say is Facebook, which it's great. But the funny thing is, in terms of conversions and customers joining from Facebook, we haven't had all that much success with it. A lot of our success has come from Google, blogs, and then the majority are actually coming from Instagram ads.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right. So I would say that, a business owner is going to have to, I don't want to say throw away, but you're going to have to test some marketing avenues that you may not be too aware of, you might not be too confident in, but you're going to have to throw some money around and see kind of where the hits are coming. And, we're a small business. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So I completely understand people who don't want to throw a bunch of money into, a brand awareness campaign. And that's what's good about Instagram to me, is that you're showing your product, people are becoming aware of it, they're seeing what you're about, they can visit your page, they can go directly to your website, and then they can convert. So it's been, Instagram's definitely been the best for us.
Interesting. Have you seen Instagram changing over the times that you've been using it? Is it getting better? Is it kind of leveling off? Is it building more momentum?
I think more and more people are starting to use their advertising platform. I haven't seen all that much change to it. They changed some things a few months back, just how people show up in your feeds and comments and likes and how interaction and engagement works, but we haven't seen a loss from that or any slowing down. But we definitely have a certain time of the year or months during the year that are bigger than others.
Holiday season, is that one of the bigger ones?
Sure, yeah. Holiday, New Year's resolutions, basically December through March are really high income months for the fitness industry.
Interesting. Who's your ideal client?
Yeah, so our ideal client is actually females aged 25 to 34. When we first started and I came up with the name BuffBoxx, I used it for alliteration and I added the second X so it would be symmetrical in the logo. And I figured, or at least we thought, that the word buff would deter some females who thought, oh, I'm gonna gain too much muscles and look too muscular. But like I said, they've been our best customers. 65% of our client base is female. And then in addition to purchasing boxes for themselves, they're also buying it for their boyfriends and significant others. So it's been good.
Anytime you're setting up a new business, creating a new venture, it really comes down to your ability to execute. And there's so many things that have to get done. How did you organize your time and your team to be able to get everything done that you needed to get done?
Yeah, so organization and hustle are the keys for us. We are a two-man team, and we have to put as much effort into every hour of the day as we have. And, we went from concept to launch in 8 months. So it was really making a list, circling it, nailing it down, and, keeping to go after it until it was knocked out. And that also included with acquiring our brand partners. The toughest cookie to crack was Reebok. We started actually on LinkedIn, getting in touch with one of their representatives, and eventually got passed up through the ranks to the head of U.S. sales, and eventually got approved, and they opened us up our account. But hustle, and more hustle would be the answer to that.
And every day when you get up, how do you decide what to say yes to? Because there's all kinds of opportunities, but peak performers know how to say no. How do you make that decision?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it just needs to make sense for your business. And you might have something come across your plate where you think you can get 1,000 new subscribers if you do this, but in the long run, it may or may not be worth it. You may take your eyes off the ball, and the ball being your business, the stuff that you should be focusing on. So for an example, we had the opportunity to move international and make a really large push into South Korea. And that would have been the last couple months if we would have decided is when it would have taken place. And this would have brought us 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers more every month. The logistics were pretty much planned out, but we found ourselves starting to lose sight of our U.S. operations and the operations where we started and where we really needed to be putting our focus. And I think that's kind of the most important part.
And how many hours a week are you saying that you put into the business?
I wake up about 6:30 and go to bed about 9:30, 10, and I am on my phone working, doing marketing, whatever I can in all those hours. I do take a quick break to go to the gym, though.
Okay, you do that 5 days a week or 7?
We do the 5 days.
Okay. The reason I ask that question is everybody seems to underestimate, or a lot of people seem to underestimate what it actually takes to get a business off the ground. And, I know when I was launching my business that, it's 7 days, and you don't know if it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. You don't even know what time it is. The sun goes down. It's like, somebody turn the lights out.
Yeah, no, I understand. And, one of our biggest items that we want to be great at is customer service. If you're familiar with the company Zappos.
Oh, yeah.
I do a lot of my online shopping there. And their logistics and their customer service has just always stood out to me as exemplary. And we've tried to model ourselves to be just like them. So, if it's Monday at midnight and my phone chimes, or it's Saturday or Sunday, we're trying to take care of our customers the best we can.
For the last 16 years, I've been driven by the question of why some people achieve amazing results and others don't. The answer? 90% of their success came from their psychology. So if 90% of their success comes down to their psychology, what was the one thing that enabled them to produce the results that others were not? Their ability to execute. Their ability to get things done. Now, we all know how to get things done, but some of us do it better than others. And some of us are not even coming close to tapping our potential. So if you're truly committed to tapping your potential and really becoming a peak performer and getting the results that you need, want, and desire, take your phone and text the word BESUMMIT. That stands for Business Execution Summit. One word, BESUMMIT, and text that to 41411. I'm going to send out some additional information on our upcoming event that will truly teach you the science of execution. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day. That concludes part 1 of our interview with Robert Kushner. Please stay tuned later this week for part 2.